What's up, guys? This is Jensen and welcome to another video. So I've been thinking about what is the most hopeless NBA franchise right now, and there are multiple teams right now that seem to have pretty bleak futures, but by far I think right now the Detroit Pistons are the most hopeless franchise in the NBA. First of all, let's look at the young talent on the roster, and there isn't a lot to talk about, honestly. I mean, Christian Wood is one bright spot. I think he's going to be a nice stretch four. But I don't know if he's going to be an all-star. It's certainly unlikely that he'll blossom into an all-star. Obviously, you never know. The NBA has taught us that. Guys like Pascal Siakam pop up every year. But, I mean, Christian Wood becoming an all-star, the odds are against it. I think that Luke Kennard is a nice three-point shooter, but at the end of the day, I think that he's just a starter at best. He's not really going to be an all-star. So they don't really have an all-star caliber player on the roster right now, or a guy who can become an all-star caliber player on the roster. And a lot of rosters have that in the NBA, so that's concerning. And at this point, Blake Griffin is not an all-star caliber player. Too many knee surgeries, too many injuries. He's already declining in athleticism, and he's like 30 years old, has a large contract. And that contract might kill the Detroit Pistons, because first of all, no one's coming to Detroit on the cheap. You're going to have to overpay free agents to be able to get them to Motor City. So I think that Blake Griffin contract isn't really going to help him in that regard. And second of all, he's not worth the money right now. I mean, he's just old. He's injury prone. He's not really giving you the production because he's always injured. So that's just that at the end of the day when we're talking about the Detroit Pistons. Not a lot to be excited about. Even though they have the fifth worst record in the NBA right now, and that's pretty bad, it's so unlikely that they'll be able to strike lottery magic and somehow get some great player. Especially when looking at this 2020 NBA draft. Even though there are nice players like Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball that could really become something in the future potentially, there isn't really a slam dunk pick like Zion Williamson or even Ja Morant. It's not one of those type of drafts. So the future is pretty bleak for the Detroit Pistons right now. I think that Dwayne Casey's a great head coach, but I think that right now, looking at this roster, it could be a long time before we talk about the Motor City making the playoffs right now when we're talking about the Detroit Pistons. It could be a long time before we talk about the Pistons becoming relevant. Talking about trading Andre Drummond on the cheap. There isn't really a lot to be excited about on this roster. And even though there are some other NBA teams with pretty bleak futures, I think that the Detroit Pistons by far are the most hopeless NBA franchise right now. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. The beauty of the NBA is that we never know, You can always strike a gem in the second round or something that could change your franchise. As we saw with the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. You never know. But the Detroit Pistons, as of right now, it looks pretty bad for them. But, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'll be providing more NFL and NBA hot takes as the season goes on. Have a good day. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Jensen Sports. See y'all later.